It's Week 17 of the National Football League, and we'll see Michael Thomas. He's over 1,100 yards receiving so far and looking for more. It's the Saints and the Eagles, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln. Today we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Glad to be enjoying another week of football. And Charles, this is a contest that should make a former defender like yourself very happy, that's for sure, because we got a pair of top 5 defenses in the NFL squaring off, and opportunities to score, well, they figure to be extremely limited.
And partner, you know, my smile is wide because this is a lot of fun for a guy like me to watch, as you noted. And if there's something else that we both know that these teams take pride in, it's how well their defense have done in controlling games and putting them in a position to win. Something else they're proud of, though, how high they rank in the league. And they're trying to use this game to move up in those rankings and become the top defense in the league.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're bringing them out in his 8th year out of Florida State, the former Heisman Trophy winner, Jameis Winston.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free. Ready.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. To the 22-yard line. Well, this defense for the Eagles, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
From the 22, Winston on target to Olave for the Saints first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he's brought down at the 34. Called a gain of 4.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense put pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. Oh, good move. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They run it again with Kamara. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Working out of the gun, Winston. That's complete to Troutman, right side. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. 3rd and 7 now. 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Winston. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. He did. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. On 1st down, Hurts. Out left and hauled in by Arthur right side. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
And he will slide down, but a penalty marker down as well, and it looks like this is going to be all for naught. So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook. They can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Now he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach, and probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The numbers for Sanders last week, well into the triple digits, and they'll take that every time out.
What I loved was just how decisive he was running the football. Coaches like guys that go north and south. They don't like the east-west guys, the juking and the jiving. 1 foot in the ground and cut.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Hurts. Going up top. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
Here's Hurts to throw. And that will be incomplete.
This defense is certainly well in this game, and on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And they were in field goal range the last time out, but couldn't connect.
It's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Now he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Winston's throw taken in by Landry. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Winston to give, it's Kamara. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Jameis to throw it. Tries the left side and finds Olave. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. To throw, Winston. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. The Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And you can see by the X next to their name, they have clinched the NFC East already. For the moment, though, they would host a wild card game in round 1.
And for me, it brings back memories about how tough it is to win this division. Not just in recent years, but think about the decades that have stacked up where we've said the NFC East always one of the toughest divisions in the NFL.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They were in the 46 defense, just plugging up the middle.
And you know what the 46 means, right? That means you take up the first 3 guys, the center and the 2 guards. You cover them with your big people up front. I don't understand why you're trying to run up the middle against the 46 defense. The old Bears showed us it wasn't able to be done. They didn't get it done on that one either.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Hurts sets up to throw it. And this is caught by Watkins. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession.
Let's go now.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
The Eagles at 12-3 now on the year, and they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
A give running left. It's Sanders. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that will.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Well, we're probably not the first, but all of us at EA Sports certainly want to wish you and yours a happy and prosperous new year. And as a celebration of that, a big slate of NFL games on this Sunday, Week 17. Second to last weekend of the NFL docket. Later tonight, the battle for Los Angeles, Rams and Chargers, 5:15 Pacific at SoFi. And then on Monday night, Charles and I are on to Cincinnati. Bills and Bengals, 2 cold weather teams in what will be a frigid Paul Brown Stadium.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Yeah, this will wind up as Saints first down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Here's Winston. Eluding the pressure right. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. Here he was saying, hey, give me the the football, I'm open, but I don't know if that's a pass that he should have thrown there.
Well, I don't think we've ever met a wide receiver that doesn't think he is open or is about to be open. True. So when you throw your hand up in the air and tell your quarterback, hey, I'm available, he's trusting that you are. In this case, he was not, and it turned into disaster for them.
Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here comes Sanders on the toss right. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Another run with Sanders. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the 1st half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They run with Sanders off the option. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. An option handoff given to Sanders. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues. Looked like a pretty smart decision that time to keep the football by the quarterback.
It was, because you saw how the runner got swarmed. So you got to pull the ball from his arms, keep it yourself, and get what you can. And the most underrated player on this play is the running back. Because even if he doesn't have the ball, he has to act like he does in order to attract the defense.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll run with Sanders. And he's shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. And maybe there that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
Elliott on for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. touchdown. Here's Elliott on to kick it away. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. He'll buy some time right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
But he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads. And he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defensive credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
One thing you're looking for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 24 yards.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. They'll throw again. Winston.
Olave over the middle. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. 2nd and 4.
From the shotgun, it's Winston.
That's Olave bringing in another one.
And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jameis again.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. From the gun, Winston gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Winston. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4.
To the air again with Winston. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
Touchdown, Saints! Chris Olave. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This one fielded at the 5. The Eagles offense is going to take over late in this first half. Just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Hurts. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Hurts. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome into our EA Sports Halftime Report. It's a busy Week 17 of the regular season, so let's get right to it. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And it's the Colts who have the lead in that one. Paris Campbell, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. James Conner, a big game. 2 touchdowns there. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they've gone to the half in that ball game with the visiting Browns out on top. Ryan Tannehill looking good. 2 touchdown passes. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Saints. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both these teams making their final halftime adjustments. We're just about ready to get back to football. So for the call of the second half, we get back up to Philadelphia and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Right back to Sanders on first down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground, and here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
Sanders toss left side. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion over
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Hurts going to give it to Sanders on the option.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the first and goal.
Running game's played a huge part in getting them down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
Another run here with Sanders. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
120 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
That's good hard running right there on first and goal. That gets him down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
Sanders is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll try to run with Sanders. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
Oh, the sneak, it's Hurts.
And he is over the line. Rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Jalen Hurts
with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Now that Eagle offense will stay out there as he'll go for 2.
Hurts will throw.
And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is. And I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
42 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Jameis now on first down. This is complete to Michael Thomas.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround. Try and win this one.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here first and 10.
Just shy of the 30. The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
That's swung out wide to Sanders.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble. You know, open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
They go play action with Hurts. That one complete down the field to Smith.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Sanders. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
2nd down, back to Sanders.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Off the play fake, here's Hurts, rolling to his right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it.
Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulled out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Winston. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Jameis to throw it. Flush. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
Hey, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
To try again after the sack. Winston. He gets it to Thomas. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call through the offensive coordinator. You like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. To throw, Winston. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
It's been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Winston. On the check down, he finds Kamara. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackle. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Winston now. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painting the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big, they just sent their receivers out and let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Hurts sets up to throw it. The quick slant caught. Touchdown. Devontae Smith. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Eagles are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Maybe the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation point, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
Boston Scott, his first carry. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watkins. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up.
Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
Second and goal from the 1.
And they'll run again.
And they are going to score again. Another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Winston tries the left side and finds Olave. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, Winston. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jimmy Moore. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
David Onyemata, excellent effort, and he earns a tackle for loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They go again with Scott. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory.
Now, whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Looking to throw. Strong. Steps away to his left. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
On the carry, this is Scott. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down.
They have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start. And pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Back to throw. Strong. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. But with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach. Okay, so he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just ran on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Now this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for Philadelphia, they run their record to 13-3 now on the year.